Hi, this is Ailsa Kepi from Pleasure for Health, and I wanted to come on today and talk about a topic that's really important to me and is really coming into my awareness these days. It's inspired by my work with abused and traumatized women, and also, interestingly, with watching some of Mark Passio's videos on feminism and neo-feminism versus the old version of feminism and some of the gender issues that are coming up these days. So really what I wanted to outline in this video was why is the Me Too movement coming up these days, and why are abused women um, becoming a pawn in this game of creating more and more gender war. And I really wanted to say, having been through my own story with emotional abuse and coming to this place of, forgiveness and uh, understanding, and actually growing into a responsibility of all of the complexities of how I played into it, how he played into it, how society played, the religion played into it. Like, do you notice the word that I'm using there is played? We're getting played in creating a war between the sexes that is actually not furthering any kind of agenda of love in the world at all. It's promoting conflict and war, and I just wanted to kind of bring the idea that as women that have had abuse or trauma, we actually have the possibility to see this type of mind control because we've been through this kind of emotional gaslighting abuse where things look different than they are. And if we actually come to see that in our own personal relationship, we can actually start to see what's going on in the world. And what is going on in the world is a lot of gaslighting and a lot of misdirection, a lot of creating conflict where there isn't, a lot of inflammation of emotions that, you and being told what to do. So mind control, all of these things. If you have had an emotionally abusive relationship, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And we actually have the possibility as victims or survivors of this, that we could take our learning from our personal life and apply it to looking at our culture and maybe catch some of the bigger picture of what is actually going on, and how can we actually bring this back to an agenda for actually creating love or joy, peace, all of these kinds of things. And the question that I ask the women that I work with in my programs that are working through their own, getting out of the mind control of their own relationships, we start with, what are your values? And I think this is important to notice that in our society, there's been a lot of talk about honesty, about truth, that, about freedom. And yet, when it actually comes to the point of looking at what are we, where do we want to hear the truth? Do we want real freedom, or do we want someone to tell us what to do and so that we can do it and feel safe? This is exactly how it is in an abusive relationship. You stay at home, you don't inflame your partner, you do things that you're told because it's not gonna, it's not gonna create a problem. That is exactly what we're being told to do in the world today. And I would say that if you have a value in you that you want to live by, which is truth and honesty, or freedom, or love, we have to really look at how do we go about doing that, and where are we just following orders? Because in an abusive relationship, when we tend to impose on ourselves before our abusive partner even says anything. After a while, the fear and intimidation creates a space where we just we just do what we're told, and we follow orders before we've even thought about it. We get up at the right time, we make their dinner the way they like, we don't talk on the phone when they're in the room. Whatever their rules are, we follow them because we don't want to be we don't want to cause a problem. And that is exactly the same thing. If you look in the macrocosmic world right now, we're being told to do certain things, and nobody really wants to know what the truth is. We just follow orders. So this kind of learning that we as women that have been through these types of things, this is an opportunity for us to take our learning and actually apply it in a larger sense. So where do I not want to see the truth? This is a big step for women that I work with. Are you seeing the truth of your relationship, or are you just using your own ability to tell yourself lies about it? Well, it's not so bad. It's not that bad. He really loves me. He's got issues. Da da da. Can you see how this relates to the world right now? So, one question I have, you may or may not agree with my comparison of these two things, but what I would say is, why has the Me Too movement come up right now in the last couple of years or whatever? And this is, why is it coming up right now? It's coming up because, on the one hand, the powers that be, they're creating this conflict. They want to create women that are angry, that just want to, if they say, well, here's the patriarchy, well, what's the other side of that? The matriarchy. So here we're going to try to make the gender divide even bigger and have everyone mad at each other or fighting. And if we can, create enough anger on the feminine side, they'll start the war against the masculine. And it's the same war, though. So really, the healing is not going to come from having a huge Me Too campaign and calling out all the men in our lives and everything. Although I agree that there's lots of change needs to happen. But what we really need to do is see the bigger picture and realize that we're being played into these two roles, and that we really want to actually come together in a way that is loving and kind. And neither a matriarchal or a patriarchal society, because of the inherent power structure of one over and the control of that doesn't happen. This brings me to an interesting question that maybe I'll explore in another video. That those people that are considering themselves queer, non-gendered, or transgender, or somehow incorporating both or none of the genders that have been polarized, why are they getting attacked? Well, probably because they're actually trying to embody this bridge, this way of bringing together masculine, feminine in a new way. And so I would, that might be something for a further video, but I, have ultimate respect for the people that are trying to embody and find a new way to bring together these both genders. So, this kind of idea that we have to, if one side is at war with the other side, there's still a war. And so as women that have experienced all of these abuse tactics, these mind control tactics in a personal relationship, I'm really talking to you. If you're out there and you have, if you want help working through all the complex emotions, definitely reach out. But if we can get to a place where we have an understanding of our values, we have some self-awareness, and we have confidence in our own self, we have kindness comes in, and love, and we're not trying to one up our abuser, we're not trying to get back at the masculine or the men, we're not trying to yay, women are in charge, we're not trying to do that. We're actually trying to find the humanness that is inherent in everybody. And so this is just something that I'm starting to play with. And if you enjoyed this video, please comment. Leave me your comments. Leave me your inputs. What do you think? I'm open to that. If you want to find out more about me, I have a blog at www.pleasureforhealth.com on intimacy, relationships. And I do love to go into all of these bigger macrocosmic ideas of what is actually going on in our personal lives. So if you felt that this video touched you, please do leave a comment and let's stay in touch. So again, signing out for today, Ailsa Kepi from pleasureforhealth.com.